This is the story of Kulthum, a woman who was married 19 times and ultimately confessed to killing between 13 and 15 of her husbands. Kulthum was just 18 years old when her story began. She was living in Iran, growing up in deep poverty. In 1985, her family arranged for her to be married off to a much older man in exchange for money. The marriage was abusive. By her early 20s, she was already in her second marriage. Once again, the husband was much older. Once again, the relationship was abusive. By the year 2000, Kulthum was around 33 years old and had endured 2 violent, unhappy marriages. Over time, resentment grew. She no longer wanted to suffer under abusive husbands, but she also wanted financial security, and she did not want to work for it. So, she formed a plan. She would marry wealthy, lonely, elderly men. Then, when the time was right, she would kill them and collect their dowries and inheritance. She began attending local women's social and religious gatherings, presenting herself as a single woman looking to marry an older gentleman who lived alone and needed companionship. The women trusted her. Many introduced her to elderly men, often their own fathers. Before agreeing to marry anyone, Kulthum carefully investigated their financial situations. She made sure they owned property, savings, and assets. She would only proceed if the man agreed to provide a substantial dowry, cash or property given at marriage. Once married, she began poisoning them. She used prescription medications, blood pressure drugs, diabetes medicine, sedatives, often high doses of the husband's own medications. She mixed them into tea or meals she prepared. The men gradually grew weak and ill. Because they were already elderly and on multiple medications, their declining health raised no suspicion. As their condition worsened, Kulthum would take them to the hospital, playing the role of a concerned wife. This created a documented history of deteriorating health, making their eventual deaths appear natural. After hospital visits, the husbands would return home, back into her care, where the poisoning cycle continued until they died. When a husband passed away, Kulthum collected the dowry and inheritance. To avoid suspicion, she transferred the money and property to her daughter's name. After a brief period of mourning, she would begin again. She repeated this pattern across multiple towns throughout the region, ensuring no one connected the deaths. If poisoning took too long, she sometimes smothered her husbands with a pillow or towel. In total, she married 19 times. Some deaths occurred only months or even weeks after marriage. In 2013, she married a 69-year-old man and killed him 1 month later. In 2016, she married a 62-year-old man who died within months. Later that same year, she married an 83-year-old man who died just 43 days after the wedding. By 2020, Kulthum was about 51 years old and married to a man named Masih. She attempted to poison him as well. After becoming sick, Masih confronted her directly, accusing her of trying to kill him. He immediately divorced her and threw her out of the house. However, he did not report her to police, possibly due to lack of proof. Kulthum continued her pattern. In 2023, she married 82-year-old Ghulam Reza. He was wealthy and elderly. She served him poisoned tea. He died. This time, suspicion arose. Ghulam Reza's family questioned the cause of death. Around the same time, his son spoke with a friend who happened to be the son of Masih. During conversation, they realized both of their fathers had been married to a woman named Kulthum, and one had previously accused her of attempted poisoning. Authorities launched an investigation. Kulthum was arrested. She eventually confessed to killing between 13 and 15 of her husbands, stating she was unsure of the exact number. In 2025, she went to trial. She was found guilty and received 10 death penalties.